Hello guys and welcome to Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. And if you're new to my channel, this channel is about Vedic astrology, about spirituality and spiritual coaching, and about inspiration, motivation, and how to make our dreams come true. Now we're just starting with this channel, and we're going to put the background for the astrology, Vedic astrology, and then we're going to develop the channel with spirituality in order to make our dreams come true using very practical techniques from astrology, using the practical side of spirituality too. And today we're going to discuss the first house, the Lagna, the Ascendant in Vedic astrology. And this is the most important chart, not the most important chart, this is the most important house. And from this house, you can read your chart. I mean, you can see whether you have good life or bad life. And this is some kind of summary of your whole chart. So let's start now. Okay, I have now my my drawn Vedic astrology chart. As you can see, the first house, this is the first house. Always, no matter what, you can see maybe there is number 7 here, but 7 means Libra. It doesn't mean that is the first house. This is the first house, second, third, 4, 5. So this is the first house. The first house is the Lagna. Lagna is, as I told you, the most important chart, not the most important chart, the most important house. And the first house, the Ascendant, the Lagna, describe your whole chart. And if you have a strong Lagna, if you have a strong Ascendant, then you will, no matter what if you have other bad placement in the chart, they can be neutralized by a strong Ascendant. So the number 7 here is Libra. So we have a whole sign based chart. So every time, if this is Libra, if the first house is Libra, this means that the second will be Scorpio, the third will be Sagittarius, fourth will be Capricorn, 11th will be Aquarius, 6th will be Pisces, 7th will be Aries, and so on. So we have a whole sign based chart, and this means that every sphere of your life will be ruled by different sign. So for example, first house, your personality is ruled by Libra, and now you have to check what are the degrees of your ascendant, because there is a point, your ascendant has a point. For example, 12 degrees of Libra. So in every chart, in every house, the 12th degrees, the part of the 12th degree is the most important part of the house. And the 12th degree will show you the nakshatra, the constellation. And you can read through the constellation that is placed there. Of course, Libra is ruled by Venus. So you have to check where is the ruler. Where is Venus in the chart here? Because if your Venus is debilitated, this means that you don't have strong first house. If your Venus is exalted, this means that your first house is very strong. And something else, you have to check all the aspects of the planets, all the aspects on the first house. For example, if you have Saturn in the 7th house, this means that Saturn will aspect your first house, and this will reflect on your personality, on your first house. And of course, you have to check if there are planets in the first house. So the thing, a small summary: when you're checking your first house, first you're checking what is the sign, then you are checking where is the ruler of that sign, then you are checking which planets aspecting the first house, then you are checking the nakshatra, the constellation, the degree, and then you can have some kind, you can decide whether your ascendant, your Lagna is strong or it's not so strong. So now we are going to start with the description. The first thing is the motto. The motto, I have to say first that every house has affinity to a sign. you know that the first sign is Aries, second is Taurus, third is Gemini. So this is the same with the house. First house has affinity to Aries and Mars because Aries is the original first house. So the motto is I am. This is the ego. This is the personality. The direction is east. Directional strength. We have in Vedic astrology, we have one term called directional strengths. There are places in the chart where planets feels really strong. Directional strengths here on the first house have Jupiter and Mercury. Karka of the house, this is the soul of the house, the soul planet. Karka is a soul planet. The soul planet of the house is the sun, because sun is your soul and sun is your ego, right? Digbala, this is the directional strength. The type of the house, this is kendra house and it is trikona house. So can you imagine, it is part of the heart of the chart and part of the most luck and fortune giving houses. Part of the kendra. First 4, 7, 9 are kendra and first 5, 5, 9 are trikona. The body part that this house rules, of course, are the same as Aries, the head and the whole body. So if you have debilitated Mars, for example, maybe you have surgery on your body, maybe you have some kind of cut, burns, or maybe you have some health issues, depending, of course, on the whole chart, not only by one placement of one planet. So now what are the key specification of the house? First, this is your entrance in this life. First house is the entrance and it shows what will be your life. 12th house is the exit. So first house is your ego, your self-awareness, your self-love, your fame, your well-being. Your general well-being is determined by the first house. The first house is your body. The first house is your personality. The first house is your traits, the way you look. For example, if you have ascendant Libra, you look more beautiful. You pay attention to your makeup if you're a girl. If you are with ascendant, let's say Capricorn, you'll be more cold and you will have more cold appearance and you will look more mature. For example, if you are ruled by Mercury, for example Gemini or Virgo, you will be more youthful in your appearance. So the first house rules personality, appearance, the entrance. It shows you, as I told you, it shows you the whole, it's a small summary of the whole chart. The first house, of course, is a house where that shows us how we are going to present ourselves to others. And this is a place that shows especially the constellation, that nakshatra is very important too. Because the nakshatra will explain what exactly will happen in your life, or how you will, what kind of person you will be. For example, you may have a Gemini ascendant, but in Gemini there are 2.5 nakshatras. So, for example, you are Gemini ascendant, but the nakshatra, the point of the degree is in constellation Ardra. This means that you will probably, in the first part of your life, there will be a lot of challenges, a lot of transformation, a lot of sorrow, because the symbol of this constellation is a teardrop or a diamond, because through teardrops, through crying, through rain, through storms, a new life will come. And people with Ardra Nakshatra in Gemini, they are always transforming themselves, they are always changing. As I told you in previous video, Cher, the singer, has Ardra, and that's why she's changing the old skin with a new skin. The first house is responsible for your happiness and for your health too. As I told you, the general well-being. If you want to know whether you will, no matter what will happen in your life, you will get through this, you have to check your ascendant. and it will show you. If you have strong ascendant, you can neutralize everything, every bad influence in your chart. Now we're going to, let me see how it's 10 minutes. Okay, we have time. Now we're going to have a small game. I will put somewhere here around me the chart of Gandhi. And there on the first house you will see that we have Mars, Venus and Mercury in Libra. So we have 3 planets, and you can leave a comment and tell me what, for example, Mars in Libra means for this person, what Mars and what Venus in Libra means in this person, and Mercury in Libra, what does this mean? And this will and you can pause now the video and I'll tell you just with a word. You don't need to make the whole analysis, of course, just with few words. Mars means this, Venus means this, Mercury means this, with one word. Okay, so you can pause the video now. So Venus in Libra means a peaceful person. Mars in Libra means fighter for justice. And Mercury, for example, in Libra means good communicator, but communicator not with force, communicator with gentle approach. And Gandhi was, that's why Gandhi was a non-violence movement, I hope this is the English word, non-violence movement for independence of India. So yeah, this is the short explanation, of course, because we don't have time, with one word. So if you have, now I can say a few words about the planets in first house. First you have to know that you have to know your real chart. This is general explanation. These are general specification, what one planet will mean in one house. So first you have to know your chart, you have to know your degree, you have to know the planets and what is their status. Are they in a friend sign, enemy sign, are they debilitated or exalted, and this will explain everything. But for example, just speaking generally, if you have if you have Sun in the first house, this means and it is in a good status, in a good placement, in a friendly sign or exalted. This means fame, popularity. This means a great personality, a person that always is looking for attention, very creative person. But if it's debilitated, this means that you will have problems with your ego. You will be infamous, or you can have problems with your father. If you have Moon in the first house, this means that you are very feminine, that you are very tender, that you are very caring for others, and you are very well liked by women. But if it's debilitated Moon, this means strong psychological issues, problems with the mother. If you have Mercury in the first house, Mercury here has Digbala, directional strength. This means very strong communicator, very good sense of humor, very clever guy. But of course, if you have debilitated Mercury, this means thinking problems with other people will not understand you. Other people will get confused. But remember that Einstein has debilitated Mercury in his chart, which means out of the box thinking. If you have Venus will mean that you'll be very sexual. You will take care for your appearance, and you will be very creative person. But of course, if it's debilitated, this means problems with self-love, problems with finding love, and you need love in your life. Mars of course means athletic person, ambitious person who is very sporty, who is fighter, who wants the best, and he wants to win the war. But if it's debilitated, means self-aggression, means problems with your health, means you can surgeries probably, head or body. Jupiter gives if it's in a good placement here, gives a lot of luck. People I have many friends that have Jupiter in the first house, and they're very lucky. Something I mean, as though there is a power that cares about them and control them. If they crash with a car, they will survive. Something saved them. Jupiter on the first house brings luck, of course, if it's good placed, if it's in a good sign. But it can give you expansion. This will make your body bigger, and it will give you maybe a lot of wealth too. But you have to be careful. What are you eating? So Saturn will give difficulties in the first part of life. I forgot to say that the first house is the time you are born, and it will show you what will be your early childhood, what will be the birth of your how you are going to be born. If you, for example, if your mother had difficult birth, it will first house will show this. Saturn here shows difficult childhood, shows a person who is mature no matter the age, and shows problems with problems with life, a lot of delays, limits, but this will change in time. Okay, of course, if it's debilitated, it will make the whole situation worse. So we said all the planets, almost all the planets. Oh, Rahu. Rahu in first house means that your mission is to find yourself. Rahu in first house means you need to find yourself. This will be the biggest battle in your life. Finding yourself, finding your real truth. And no matter how many boyfriends, girlfriends you have, you always need first to find yourself, first to give yourself love, and then you fulfill your mission in this planet. Ketu in this house will make you not attached to your family. This will give you problems with your early childhood. It will make you a person that wants to be isolated. If Ketu is in a spiritual sign and there are different combinations, you can become even psychic and you can have connection with other dimension. But Ketu in the first house means problems, means that problems with partnership. You need to find your partnership, but first you have to find the peace inside, and you need to be isolated at least once 1 hour per day, because Ketu needs isolation. So I'm going to mention the outer planets, but if you have watched the previous videos, you know that the outer planets, in Vedic astrology we don't use the outer planets because they are for big events, worldly events, or for whole generation. But let's say you have Neptune in the first house. This will make you more creative, more mysterious, more foggy person. You have to be careful with drug addiction and any kind of addiction. If you have Uranus, this will make you rebellious. Your life will change very fast and big transformation. If you have Pluto, you will be dark, mysterious, you will seek power, and you will be a very sexual person, because according to Western astrology, Pluto rules Scorpio, and Pluto has the traits of Scorpio. And you will need to control everyone and everybody. Of course, this is just a general explanation. As I told you, you have to know your chart. And check the Lord of the house. If the first house Lord is placed in the fourth house, for example, if Venus is placed in the fourth house, this means that your future and your mission in your life will be connected with your homeland, with your mother. If the Lord of the first house is in your 8th house, this means that you have a lot of transformation. You will need to die and reborn and reborn again. I mean, not in the real way, I mean in the material way, but your soul will die and will rebirth again. You change yourself, you transform yourself, or you can you'll be interested in astrology, occultism, mysticism. You have to check the ruler of the constellation too. For example, you are Gemini ascendant, and Ardra is the constellation that that is on the degree. For example, you are 12 degree Gemini, and this is in Ardra constellation, and the ruler of Ardra is Rahu. So you have to check not only Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, but you have to check and the ruler of the nakshatra. It will show you your destiny and your mission in your life. Okay, the video is 20 minutes. I have to stop. I'm going to make in separate videos signs through houses, but this will be later. For now, thank you for watching the video. I hope you like it. I love your comments, and if you're new to my channel and you are interested in Vedic astrology, spiritual coaching, and changing yourself in order to make your dreams come true, I want you to invite you to become part of this big online family. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.